decided to do a little bit differently today. Got Mickey in-house.
Yeah, usually each got their own device.
Yeah. I don't think I can. Otherwise, Stephan, how are you doing?
Yeah, no, all good. Having 2 like refeeds yesterday and today, so eating good, feeling good, looking forward for the prep. And you?
Yeah, all good, all good. I'm glad you came on. It's gonna be a good podcast. I checked the photos of the meals you put up today.
Yeah, I don't want to post everything as such, because unfortunately some guys are going to try and follow it. And, everybody is different. So not everybody can eat the same. And I was depleted for so long, hence I can handle the food now.
Yeah.
So
anytime you're measuring raw weight rice at 200 grams, that's fucking ridiculous.
Well, it's kind of today is more or less everything 200 grams. So I just had 200 grams of Rice Krispies as well. And then a bit later, I've got 200 grams of cream of rice. And above all the food, I still have my cheat meal. So after this podcast, I'm going out for, well, kind of whatever I feel like, burger, pasta, just not sugary stuff, obviously. You want to do carb loading. Yeah.
That's bad. Absolutely bad. And I actually want to wait until the boys get on. But anyways, I guess when they get on, they can join in. But tell me, how was the? I really want to find out how the show went. Obviously we know how the show went, but like how the day went. What do you think of the results? What do you think about your competitors?
The comp wasn't bad at all. It was good. NPC athletes are they always bring good physiques. Hence, I like competing at NPC. The day was long. I think it's difficult for them as well. There were so many people entering on 99. That's why the show was so late, especially on the bodybuilding side. All the bodybuilders. Session 1. So, yeah, that took up so much time. Usually, if you look at your lineups, it's 4, maybe 6 guys competing. Now it was 10 to 12 in a lineup. What was a bit unfair for me was the individual posing. They said only the winners were allowed. So I feel that it was a bit unfair because everybody preps so hard and so long. And you train for that posing routine. I mean, that's your time to shine. And now they say, well, sorry, we don't have time. So that's a bit not lacquer for me. They should have kind of forecasted and split it over 2 days, have it the show over the Saturday and the Sunday. I feel that would have been great, but it is what it is. You're on the day, you're on the spot, you have to adjust and just go with it.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, the thing is that I wonder, Mickey, you'll know this. The only thing is I'm thinking, if you do split a show over 2 days, how do you work out your costs and like how does that work? Because that becomes because I'm sure like with regards to like renting the building and stuff, then you have to pay for both days, eh?
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay extra for another day. But I mean, you need to budget for everything, like for plan A and plan B, because this is for me personally, this is the NPC's first show ever that they have so many athletes.
Yes, yeah, it was the biggest.
Yeah, here in South Africa, but they knew about the entry and how many athletes they're going to be. Why didn't they do it like in 2 weeks prior and say, look here, we're going to split the show into 2 days?
They didn't know exactly how many. So loads of the athletes entered prior, obviously online, entry fee, whatnot. But there were so many guys from Upper Africa that only came that week and registered on registration day, which was the day before.
Okay.
But that's why I'm saying this is something that they could have anticipated beforehand, because they knew the one in, I think it was in Mozambique or wherever, was cancelled. So they knew those guys were going to come over still.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. But and tell me, how was how was the international? How was it competing against international guys? You know, it's obviously like I heard there was a big influx of internationals.
No, not really. You know what I think is I've done 2 Arnold as well. So yeah,
Okay.
I've got the international feel. I can't say there was really, they didn't stand out at all. Our athletes in South Africa, we're not that bad, to be honest.
Oh, for sure.
We've got talent.
For sure. But okay, well that's great. But otherwise, like with regards to like your placing and your lineup, like how do you feel? Because look, I looked at, I think you look. First of all, obviously you look good, but it was definitely a step up, big step up from your last show, which is, I guess, all you want, really. Yeah.
Thanks. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, this is definitely the best package that I've brought to stage. Everybody wants to win. So I can't say what went wrong. We are waiting for the judges' feedback on it. They said we have to wait for the photos, and then they can only say, you know, okay, this is this guy, this is that guy, and that's what happened. We've got more or less an idea. Myself and Tristan spoke, and we watched the video backwards. So we've got more or less an idea what could have gone wrong, but I can't say for sure. I don't know. We have to wait for the judges' feedback to know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
If you look at the previous winners, even in Olympia at this stage, in men's physique specifically, it's all your taller guys. And Tyron is tall. Romeo is tall. The guy that won now, I don't know what his name is, but he's tall. So
how tall are you, Stephan?
He's not. He's my size. I think 171.
I'm 172, so I'm class B.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you fall in definitely the shorter category.
Yeah. If you look at the A class, the guys, I feel bad for them. It's hard because they tend to look bulky very fast. So I would say just scrap A class completely from physique, because personally, I don't know if I've ever seen an A class win overalls. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but the shorter guys tend to look bulkier, very easy. Whereas I try to keep my waist as small as possible. I mean, the board shorts I wear is a 28, and I can still push my thumb into my board shorts. That's how small my waist is.
Yeah.
So I still go for that V-tape or wide shoulders, you know, the physique look that they're looking for. But apparently the taller guys look more streamlined or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, it makes sense because, you know, it does look better when the taller guys are holding that amount of muscle. You know, it's more of a physique look. But like you said now, the fact that you've kept your waist tight, it almost makes you look tall. Does that make sense? You almost look like you've got a tall physique, if that makes any sense, because your waist is tight, so obviously got wide shoulders, etc., etc. But look, if you didn't have that, you'd probably have the same problem, probably that blocky look.
Yes. But then obviously you move over to the correct division, which would be either classic bodybuilding or open.
There we go. And tell me what, because obviously, like I said, I obviously saw a big jump in your last show to this show. What did you interest in do? Like, what was the difference? Is it just the time or
food? So previously I was bulking on 3,200 calories. So with my previous coach, we thought I was always in a 300 to 500 calorie surplus, which is a good place to be because you don't really pick up much fat. You don't let go in your off season. But there was never recognized over the time, the more muscle you build, the more fuel or food your body needs. So I was always restricted, if you want to put it that. So I was bulking, like I said, at 3,200 calories and cutting at 2,800. When I moved over to Tristan, we pushed in my off season 5 to 5,500 calories per day. And on Sundays was a cheat day, which meant I had to push for 10,000 calories. But that was dirty as well. So that's why I ate so many pizzas and burgers and stuff, just to get all that food out. I mean, but it all came down to food, 3,000 calories to 5,000, and my body just took it up.
First of all, that's a huge jump, and I'm surprised. Obviously, I don't know who the old coach was, but I mean, that's not that much calories. I'm surprised that he had you on. Look, to the average human being, it's a lot of it's a lot of calories, but you obviously need a lot more, especially like we were talking the other day, Mickey, about the size of the physique guys now. Never mind, they're not. It's not board short guys anymore. It's bodybuilders with the board shorts on.
It's moving back though. Next year is going to be different. So it's going to be
change today.
And they're going to judge on legs as well. They said so. But it's purely, or not purely, but mostly on the pros. But I think when it's implemented with the pros, they're going to kind of bring that down to the amateurs as well.
Yeah.
So they're going to judge us kind of the same, because it doesn't help you come in as an amateur and you look like a bodybuilder. Now you're a pro, now you have to diet down to fit into the weight class.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to. Otherwise, it won't make any sense. It won't make any sense whatsoever. Exactly. Ahmad, what's happening?
What's happening, boys?
Yes, boy, you're looking slim and trim in the face.
You know what it is, bro. It's that time of prep, man.
Looking good. I checked the little update video today. Looking lean. How are you feeling?
Like $1 million.
Is it? Good. Good. I'm glad.
Now we push for 1.1 mil, now.
What was I going to say now? So sorry, Ahmad. We were actually just talking to Stephan about his prep and his show and whatever. Another thing. What was the look? I know we get into fucking bodybuilding politics on this podcast too much, but I didn't hear exactly what happened with the show. I heard there was some like big drama or whatever. Do you know?
No, I don't know about.
Okay, I just heard there was drama and whatever. So I was.
What kind of drama?
Something to do with money or prizing or something like that. I don't know if it was like a fault of theirs or something happened. I heard a few athletes complaining like very publicly, so I just wanted to kind of understand what was going
on. I haven't heard, so I can't really elaborate on it. I know many people misunderstood the actual prize for the winners because they mentioned the $5,000, and that actually covers the entry fee for the overall winner for the pro qualifier. So they pay that for you. And I'm not sure if the people thought they're going to get paid. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but that was said by Andrew Jack then out of his own mouth, and said that winners, like overall winners will get. But they didn't clarify that it's going to be for the next show and they're going to like pay upfront for the next show. So the marketing was totally confused there. There was totally.
Yeah. Candace did mention it in her stories as well, but I feel they could have marketed better. Say that prize money is specifically for.
I don't know if you guys missed it. Sorry. I don't know if you guys missed it. Before they released posters of the Andrew Jack show, because when I saw when Andrew, I remember watching that video when Andrew announced the prize money thing and stuff like that. That was before posters and stuff was released. But when I heard that, I was going to do the show. To be honest, I was going to do the show. Then they came back out and they did say, it was out there. They did say that they've checked with the NPC. As amateur shows, they're not allowed to give prize money because of even pro shows. Prize money is even not that much. I mean, $5 is a lot of money. I mean, if you look at some small pro shows, like the first place overall bodybuilding pro lineup will get like $10,000. It's not a lot of money. So it's as amateur shows is in the NPC is the rules that they're not allowed to have money shows and stuff like that. That's when they turned around and said, okay, put that money into paying for your entry fee for the pro qualifier. It was out there. It was clarified. Like, I don't know if you guys missed it. That's why, like, when you guys were going on about it in the group, I was like, but it was rectified. It did come out of Andrew's mouth first, and I think then Candace realized and said, whoa, I don't think we're allowed to do this.
And I heard Candace say it was for the entry, or the prize money is specifically for the pro qualifiers entry to cover that and the spray tan and so forth.
Because I'm very sure as promoters, they are aware of what's allowed and what's not allowed when it comes to the rules and the regulations of hosting shows and prizes and stuff like that. Whereas this was Andrew's first show he put together, so I'm sure he jumped the gun and said, let's give money away. Let's give prize money away. And he wasn't aware of that the rules and the regulations, and that's why Candace came out and said, this money that he's going to put in, we'll use it as entry fee for the overall winners to pay for the pro qualifier, which, I mean, I think is still fair. I mean, if I won that money, where was that money going to go to anyway? It was going to go to my next prep anyway.
Yeah. Look, fair enough. I think it's just, there was miscommunication. The reason why I brought it up, because I also got quite a few messages, and like I heard, saw a few stories and shit about this specific situation, and there was like a few athletes that were like really fucking butthurt about it. I want to just clarify that, get that out of the way. But anyways. So Stephan, I actually wanted to finish off there. So what's the plans now? What's yours and Tristan's plans now going forward? I know you got another show coming up.
Yeah, so I'm obviously going to do the Muscle Militia Pro Qualifier. That's 10 weeks out yesterday. We're going to try and keep the physique as tight as possible, but not obviously in peak as such. So it's just going to be stupid to put up weight now just to diet it down again. We're keeping calories moderate during the week. I'm checking in twice a week with him as well. Photos, weight, everything full house. Then weekends, we decide what my body looks like and how I should refeed.
Okay. And
after that, I can't say. We'll have to wait and see. The thing is, after that, the next pro qualifiers in Cape Town. That's going to be out of expensive. I mean, I can't recall. I think this entry is $250, and the spray tan is an additional $40 or so. So it's almost $300. So that comes down to what, about 5,500 rand just for entry for this show. So if I want to do the one in Cape Town as well, that's 5,500 again, and it's flight, it's accommodation, and all of our bodybuilders, we are normal workers. We do this kind of as a hobby, if you want to put it as such. The expensive sport.
Yeah, look. See, anytime you're paying in dollars, you're getting smacked.
Yeah, and I'm a non-sponsored athlete at all, so I don't have any supplement sponsors or whatever as such. It's all self-made.
Yeah.
Just win the next pro qualifier, man.
No, I'm going to do it. It's 2 weeks.
Just win it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give my best.
100%. And what? So what's the plan? Are you obviously you want to win this show? You want to get the pro card, but is the goal to put on more size, or is it just like filling in gaps, or what's? Because you've obviously got enough size per se.
Currently, yes. There's not enough time now to put on size.
Yeah, no, of course.
10 weeks, so yeah. So at this stage, we saw what we can improve on from the previous show. It's my first show with Tristan, and I think we did extremely well. My body, obviously, I brought my best package, so we did well. I'm happy with that package that I brought, but we've got smaller details to adjust, which we're already working on. I don't want to give all away. I want to give it on show day. I want to show you guys if possible. But I will be posting, like I mentioned, on my stories on Instagram that I want to show more of my prep, a bit of my training, food that I eat, that kind of stuff. So behind the scenes as such, but not all the details. You can't give all the details. Size-wise, going to stay for now the same.
Yeah.
When I fill up more on the day, I think I'll show a bit bigger, refeed more, a little bit more calories. After that, we'll have to see. I want to move over to classic, to be honest, but I have to bring my lower body up to par. So I've been working hard on my legs, but in classic, they want extremely large legs.
Yeah.
So for classic bodybuilding, I'm there, but I want to push for classic physique, hence the V-taper, small waist. I feel I have that look.
Well, look, if you can match the legs with the upper body and somehow retain that small waist, it'll be deadly. But that's the thing, is to do that. That's the tough part, I guess.
Yeah, on the weight cut.
But why? Can I ask why? Why? Because obviously you've got a great physique and you're doing well in physique. Why the change?
Moving up. Who doesn't want to move up?
No,
physique
for sure.
Physique is a starting point for everybody in bodybuilding. So I would see how my body responds. So my end goal is to go over to classic. But till then, I would remain in physique because I know that's where my body fits at this stage. So I won't make the transition when I'm not ready. So I'll remain in physique till I feel I can do that transition and move over.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, look, I get that. I'm just saying, sometimes certain physiques, you just match a division. Like you look at like Tyron, for instance. We talked about Tyron earlier. He's obviously tall, whatever, and he did well in classic. He looked sick, but as soon as he went to physique, he just, it was just killer.
Boom. To be honest, what happened was very random. When we do that, what do you call it? Pose down. When you do the pose down in the end of the lineup, I did a double bicep back shot. And the response I got from everybody was just immense. So many people feel that I would do good in physique, classic physique as well.
Okay, well, look, if you can, then I don't see why not.
In NPC, you can always do both lineups. It's very strange in South Africa. You can do open bodybuilding and physique. It's most do as you please. Yeah. So I can always enter both lineups and feel the waters, see where we stand at.
Yeah, for sure. Well, look, good luck. Really, good luck. I'm keen to see what you do this next show. And look, I just want all the boys. I just want them to get their pro cards. Obviously, it's a tall order. It's not an easy thing to achieve, but it's going to be. I think it's the quality of athlete now. Also, like you see some guys getting their pro cards and whatever. It also like. Couple of years back, there was like one or two guys, and it was like, what's the chance of getting it? Now there's a few. Now guys are like, okay, it's actually, it's attainable, it's achievable. So, yeah, good luck. I can't wait to see what you do.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
And then, Ahmad.
Yes, sir.
What's happening? How's the prep going? I know I ask you every single time, but you literally look like a different person this week. So something's happening.
Yeah, we just flipped the switch, bro. That's all. But surprisingly, like I said to you, nothing has changed, bro. My body's just responding. That's all, and it's all like nothing has changed. No cardio increase, no food decrease. Body's just starting to flip the switch now.
Just the consistency of dieting.
And when the mind switches, the body just follows.
Well, the only other thing maybe is also just the intensity in my weight training changed a little bit, but like crazy. But also just pushing, and yeah, body's just responding nicely now. Things are moving into gear. things are tightening up.
What show are you doing?
I'm doing the Cape Town Muscle Malusha show now. It's 3 weeks out now.
Oh, great stuff. Okay.
So yeah,
That's great.
And what division are you in?
I do open bodybuilding, so I'm sitting now. I don't know what class I'm gonna fall in. It's getting difficult to gauge now because we'll still see what happens. Like we had a last week and your body weight just drops and manipulate water and carbs and all that stuff, and the body weight just drops. So at the moment now, it looks like I'm gonna fall in the light heavies. That means I'm moving up a class from the last time I was on stage, which was a year and a half ago. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Like I said, I'm happy with the way things are going. There's a couple of areas where I would like to be tighter, but obviously there's a lot of new tissue on the body, which you can see in some areas that the new tissue sitting there. So it's going to take time to season that muscle. So, but yeah, we'll see. Like I'm happy with the way things are moving at the moment, to be honest with you. It's like besides my prep, like I mean, I don't know how other coaches do it, but having 3 other people doing the same show you're doing, it's managing that and your own prep. Oh, but okay. Luckily, like I have my own coach who take care of my protocols and what's happening with my prep. But still, just like that stress of having to make sure that 3 other people are also on point, looking at their check-ins, making sure their plans are on point. It's a work. So
you know what else with you before, or are they first-time clients?
Yeah, all of this is my first show with all 3 of them. So
so it's all new.
Yeah, all new clients. Yeah, well, not all new clients, but they're like they've done. Aviva has been with me through the off season, so he's been working with me for the past year. He jumped on board with me after the last pro qualifier in Joburg, in the Muscle Malusha last year in Joburg. That's when he jumped on. I helped him peak for that show, and he's like, okay, no, we're working together from this point onwards, and he stuck with me then. Uzi started with me in Feb. The amount of changes that man's body has gone through, I was like, what is going on here? And then we've got Ray's actually doing Mickey's show actually, but it's on the same day. She's doing wellness, and also the amount of changes that's coming in from this auntie at 50 years old, bro. My goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, we met her at I met her at the posing seminar the other day. I met her. She's a very cool chick. Very cool. She was telling me about you and your what's the word? Your strict coaching.
Well, it's not strict. It's just fun. Just like I say things like it is, bro. It's like there's no point in just like what's the word I'm not looking for? It's no point in sugarcoating things or blowing a whistle up someone's ass, saying, "Oh no, you look great, you look fantastic." There's no point in doing that. I mean, just it is what it is, bro. Like,
yeah,
that's the only way. It's the only way to do it.
It's better that way.
Straightforward.
100%.
Yeah, but she's always consistent and dedicated to her training and diet as well.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. Like, what upsets me, or not upsets me, but I always go at about this is she was supposed to join me already last year after the October show here in Cape Town, the eye candy. Yeah, like I think it was 3 people that said to go to Ahmed, and then she went to the other coach, and then I heard all the horror stories, and I was like, oh, and now he started with me. I think it was 16 weeks out from the show, from Mickey's show. Now the time that we're doing it now, and then we're still a fast just before that as well. So I'm like, oh, okay. We started off like that, and then but the amount of changes, I'm like, look at the amount of changes we've made now. If you joined me in October, where would it be now?
Yeah. Was it one of those horror stories about the 9,000 diuretics, or what was it this time?
Well, I'm not even going to go into that stories, bro. Like,
that's scary stuff. That's scary stuff. I've heard weird stuff, and I feel you as a normal person should do your own homework as well. I trust, or here you have to trust your coach. but still do some research. I mean, these guys just follow around everybody left, right, and center and mess up their bodies, and it's scary. It's sad that they do it, but they do it to themselves as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, and look, not everything you not everything you hear on YouTube is, it's not the gospel.
No, definitely.
So you got to know who to go to, who to look for. We had this conversation before, like actually find the right people to look at and whatever. And yeah, for sure you got to do some type of research. You can't go in either that, or you got to make sure that this coach that you're going to, you got some good references, or you know for a fact that they on point and solid, not just some guy that's like this proper coach thing we spoke about. You got to be cautious about that shit, because at the end of the day, I know we've said it, but you can. I know it sounds rough, but a coach can, you can kill someone like that, taking 5-6 diuretics, or whatever that other horror story, Ahmed, you told me. You can kill someone like that. It's not play. It's not just like fucking up someone's diet. It's a completely different story.
Exactly. Yeah, and when the organs fail, they fail, and you're stuck.
There's no coming back from that shit. So, but Anyways, so boys, a little bit of a change of topic. How did you guys watch the rugby, and did you watch Dricker's fight this morning?
No, I followed the rugby on social, but that's about it. I was eating and training.
Okay, well,
I missed the fight.
Did you miss the fight?
Yeah, I was disappointed.
It was crazy, absolutely crazy. So South Africa versus Australia, we beat them in rugby, gave them a harding by 30 points. And then Drickus du Plessis beat Robert Whittaker this morning, which was crazy. So it's 2-0 for South Africa against Australia this weekend. And what that means is that Drickus will be fighting for the title next, which is fucking mad, absolutely mad. He's had 5 fights in the UFC, and now he's going to be fighting Israel. Absolutely crazy. You guys must actually go do yourself a favor and go watch that fight back, or watch all the shit. It was crazy.
I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, flipping Drickus jumps over the cage or whatever. He's shaking Donald Trump's hand. Dana White, it was crazy shit. And it's so good because it puts such a good look. South Africa is in such hardship at the moment. Sport's kind of the only thing that we can kind of look at and unites us. I mean, last night we were out in the V&A or whatever, watching the rugby, and all of a sudden everyone's just together and we all there supporting each other. It's just such a vibe. And then this morning we have someone like that just leading from the front. It just shows that no matter what happens to South Africa or whatever, sport-wise, we never shy away. It's crazy how good we are at sport. It's mad. That's why we got to keep this bodybuilding thing, really going in South Africa, because we know we have the quality. It's just about having the infrastructure and financial backing and whatever into our sports, and there's no reason why we shouldn't take bodybuilding in South Africa to a level of, obviously not rugby, it'll never be like that, but you know what I mean, just carry on, because we have the talent. I mean, look at some of the guys, even these youngsters. We were talking about the youngsters the other day on the last podcast. It's crazy.
Yeah, the juniors are coming up a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
Myself and my lady talked this morning, actually, and we both feel there's so much potential for growth within bodybuilding in South Africa. It's just nobody really or it feels like nobody really wants to put in that extra effort towards it. Like this, I think it's Shea Classic. I don't know if somebody heard about it, you can correct me. Shea Classic, that's coming up now. The prize money at that show it's decent. I mean, it's 10,000 rand for winners.
Yeah,
that's a decent amount. Even if you're half it, 5,000, even that is still something to motivate somebody. Or a coupon, go and buy yourself a whey protein, anything. anything at all would help. But it feels like there's no other drive towards it. As soon as an athlete can feel like he gets something back, unfortunately, they don't feel being on stage is enough anymore, which is for me personally one of the biggest and most rewarding feelings under the sun. If I bring a better package to my previous show, I'm happy. I don't really worry about prize money. But not everybody's got that same mindset. They want something in return. So I feel as soon as you can get that something in return to some of the athletes, that's going to attract a lot more people.
For sure, and also, if you also have these big South African companies or big supplement companies in South Africa just starting to back these bodybuilding shows financially, right? Like you said, prizes and stuff like that. What it does is, first of all, the bodybuilders are going to be more well off. So that means they're going to have an opportunity to have better facilities, better supplements, better this, better this. That's how you grow the business. And in turn, those supplement companies are getting their money back because all of a sudden there's more people competing. There's more people buying their products. There's more this, there's more that. So, the big supplement companies should do this, and they are doing it. I get it, but to a bigger extent, because even as a marketing tool, it's great. Imagine each winner gets $10,000. All of a sudden, guess which supplement company you're going to start buying from.
And as soon as many or more athletes enter, the more money that federation will make as well. But you don't have to go just to a supplement sponsor or whatever. You can use anybody else. Let's use a food company, for instance. If they just throw their name or give any type of anything at the show for the guys. I mean, we are normal people outside of the stage as well. We have to eat, we have to drink, we have to do, normal living. So if any other business can also contribute, their name is also getting exposed. It doesn't necessarily just have to be in a bodybuilding circle.
Yeah,
you can expand in so many different ways.
I agree fully. I think, look, we obviously see it happening now a little bit more than what it was in the past. Well, not even in the past, like the last couple of years. It's a big difference. There's a lot more stuff. Like even Mickey, you'll vouch for this. Like other companies outside of bodybuilding, sponsoring prizes and sponsoring or whatever. And money. Look, if you don't have the money as the federation, that's a different story. Of course, you can't. It's a business at the end of the day. You got to, and then you rely on your sponsors. But
look, for me, sorry to cut you short. No. For me, as a promoter, it's the promoter's duty to put in that effort to give back to the athletes. You understand? So it's their duty to go out and go approach those companies, the bigger companies, small companies, anything small towards the athlete will make the athlete be or feel appreciated. Because I come from an athlete's background, and that's why we host our show, Cape Classic IBF. We sponsored so many athletes here in Cape Town, and that came down from Joburg and stuff like that. It's the promoter that needs to put in that effort to make sure that these athletes have what they need.
Yeah, for sure. Also, there's a lot of greed in this game.
A lot.
There's a lot of greed in this game.
A lot.
And it's tough because if you look, Stephan, I understand what you mean when you say, you feel like it's enough just to stand on stage and just to be better every time. I understand that for sure. But also at the end of the day, you're putting in so much effort and so much work. People don't realize, outside of bodybuilding, people don't realize how much effort you put in for 2 minutes on stage, not even, and you, at the end of the day, you putting on a show. It's entertainment at the end of the day, and it's a sport, and you're entertaining people, you're entertaining crowds, and you putting your health, at risk, all this stuff, your time, your effort, your money, you do deserve to get something back, you know. You need, whether it's financially or sponsors, whatever it is, you know, you need something. Otherwise, the sport dies, because if you're just doing something, it's like same as rugby. If I was just playing rugby and I was buggering up my knee, buggering this, and then I wasn't getting anything in return, I don't know if I'd play rugby anymore, you know. So it's a tough one, but look,
that's also a bit different though. If you play rugby, that is your work. At this stage, we are all kind of amateur bodybuilders, so we do it as a hobby, like I mentioned earlier. So I feel when you're amateur, you can't really expect as much. Prizes would be nice, and I feel that would attract more people to grow the sport in South Africa.
Yeah.
Like I said, not everybody's got the same mindset. So for me personally, I feel I'm an amateur. I do what I need to do because it's personal, it's for myself. But to grow the sport as such, I feel they need to bring in more to attract more athletes or grow more athletes, get these guys on stage or whatever it might be. But I feel that will help the other companies that's sponsoring stuff as well, food or whatever it might be.
Yeah, for sure. I'm obviously speaking more from a business standpoint, more from, you know, the sports standpoint. But look, I mean, it is growing though. You know, something is happening. It's really cool. I mean, geez, how many sponsors has the Cape Classic got? You know, like some awesome sponsors that came in and stuff, and it's just fucking exciting. Now you can also see, like, on the WhatsApp groups and shit, hey guys, you know, GHR is giving this, USN is giving this, or what was it, the big one?
On our side.
Yeah, on your side.
We have Planet as well.
Planet Fitness, Red Bull. I mean, that's up.
We have so basically we have 8 sponsorships.
That's awesome.
I didn't ask for any money or stuff like that. So money comes out of my pockets of this show. So I'm doing it for the athletes. So I have a plan set, like a 5-year plan or 6-year plan, and you have to set it from there and say, look here, this is your budget, and your sponsorship is on board. I don't charge my sponsorships for any vendors and stuff like that, because I don't want to build burn bridges. I want to build a relationship with those sponsors, and that's why sponsors every year comes to me and call me, Mickey. I know you have a show. We want to sponsor again. Like, we are so small and we are giving out so much to athletes, which makes me feel like, okay, this is actually something good that I have to do. So it's not just about the money, it's about giving back to the athletes. We've sponsored in the last 2 years about, say, 10 athletes in total, with the educational voucher over 15 to 20,000 rand. And now they are like qualified personal trainers, sport management, sport massage, everything.
That's
so
amazing.
we look into tapping into that industry as well to create jobs in the fitness industry. You see, that's why I say it is the promoter's duty to make sure that these athletes have what they have.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
That's awesome. No, well done for that. Oh, that's great.
But you see, it comes back to the same thing. It's like, but it's not just bodybuilding. It's just life in general, people in general, companies, business in general. Greed never gets anyone anywhere, because it's the same thing of like that, you know, instant gratification. Yeah, it's nice. Starts off well, and you can be greedy. You can take.
Yeah.
But eventually, it comes to bite you in the ass. You know what I mean? It'll always, everything comes full circle. It comes to bite you in the ass. You can take the money, you can take this, whatever. In the long run, you get fucked, because people don't trust you anymore. People see through the bullshit, you know. So,
and that's what's happening.
But
that's what's happening.
The thing is, 100% that happens. But in the long run, the people that aren't greedy come out even better, you know. because people start to trust you, and you don't burn bridges, like you said, you know.
Yeah.
And all those people that you've helped, you know that one day if you need something, you know, you pick up the phone and those people will help you. If you're burning bridges, you got no one to phone, you know. So that's my life lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you guys looking at extending Cape Classic eventually to Joburg or whatever? Have a Joburg Classic as well or so?
Not really. That's why the All Africa Cup, the SA All Africa Cup is hosted in Joburg. So we can't really do a Cape Classic in Joburg. The All Africa Cup is also a pro qualifier and a pro lineups as well. So that's, for me, it's the biggest pro lineups in South Africa, because that's the only federations that have their pros. That is lots of pros, like 6 to 7 pros in the lineup. So it's the fastest growing federation. Going to come back to that conclusion, it depends on the promoters. And that's why we still want to change things up. Look at the Shea Best Classic. Look at the IBFF. We make sure that these athletes is not leaving that stage empty-handed.
Yeah.
Okay, can I come in here? Like I've been sitting here and listening to this whole thing.
Always.
Huh?
Go for it.
Master, go for it.
Cool. So I'm gonna start off the way Stephan spoke about the prize money and being an athlete with his prize money up for grabs. Because I've been in the boat before. I've done that before. Like I can agree. Like when there's money up for grabs for a show, it's 100% the motivation to push yourself further. Like before the NPC came in, I was doing all the federations. I was doing PCA, I was doing the IFBB Elite. I didn't. Okay, but I did my first show was a NABA show, but I mean, like it was like I didn't even know anything to what I didn't even know what I was doing. That was just like my first show. Jumped on stage, tried it out, and like, okay, cool. This is lekker. I think I can do the sport. That was where I started. Then the Titans, and yeah, that's where my everything kicked off for me. Then there was the show, the first money show that was ever, that was, you know, when I started bodybuilding, the first money show was the Gentle Giants show that came out. Bro, like when they gave out, there was prize money and stuff like that. But it was 100% the motivation to get on the stage. But now shifting over to like when the NPC came into South Africa, you must remember, not everybody is just chasing the money. People's when they start this thing, you look at it as a long-term thing. I mean, I can ask Stephan. I'm sure if I ask him what is his goal, where does he want to go, where does he want to take this thing? He wants to get onto the Olympia stage. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Will do. Well, not all. Let's get back to that again. Sorry. Most of us do. Yeah, we want to get on an international stage. Olympia is the main goal. Yes.
You don't want to get on the Olympia stage. It doesn't matter. So your goal is you want to get onto international stage, not the Olympia stage. It doesn't matter which stage, as long as it's international.
Both. So I would first want to get on the international to see where we stand at, and obviously have to do pro shows to get invited to the Olympia. So yeah, I want to climb that ladder.
But I mean, the ultimate goal. I'm talking about like the end goal. You want to go to Olympia.
One shot. No doubt.
100%. So what route do you have to take to get there?
The steep one. You have to go through NPC. NPC is the only one you can go through.
Yeah.
So like I get Mickey's point is saying like it's the promoters. Like I was having this conversation with my girlfriend in the week. I mean, cool. Like I mean, we can all like we need to like if you want to make bodybuilding better, we have to. It's all about an athlete. So we have to like figure out okay, what are the majority of the athletes' end goals? Are most of the athletes in South Africa, or do they want to go to the Olympia, or are they just competing to get onto international stage? Then from there, decide, okay, well, like I have full respect for what Mickey them are doing, like having their own federation and stuff like that, and giving away to the athletes. And I mean, most of the athletes that's competing outside of the NPC I don't think their goals are really to go to the Olympia. Like they're still finding their feet. They enjoy the sport. They have the passion for bodybuilding, but their end goal is that they don't see themselves going that route. So when I was having a conversation with with my girlfriend in the week was like, yes, everybody can complain about the promoters, about the NPC promoters, blah 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 blah, but nobody's stepping up because I mean, they're not in charge of having the license of hosting an NPC show. Everyone's complaining about this promoters. Then why are you guys not standing up and buying a license to host NPC shows? Because I mean, if that's majority of our country's athletes are standing on NPC stages, that is where the focus of promoters should be going. You understand what I'm saying?
Look, I think I think it's less of us. It's like might probably just sounds like an attack on the South African promoters, but it's not that it's higher up. They've got a say for sure, and they do the things here in South Africa, but it's higher up than them. They don't call the shots, they have to go through a board.
That's the point I'm also getting to. Like at the end of the day, bro, like rules are rules. Like the rules are rules. Like you have to follow the rules. That's how it is. I mean, there's rules in everything. If without rules, it's chaos.
For sure. Look, I mean, 100%. Look, it might have come across like it was like, these two people, or whatever, but it's not. It's. And I remember actually when I did that podcast with Arnie, he made it very clear to me that it's not. People mustn't bash this person, that person. It's about the fact that the system. It's a problem with the system. But look, there might be problems with the people, but there's a problem with the system. It's coming from up top.
I get what you're saying, but hold on. Like, just listening to what Mickey just said now about sponsors, it's the finger is being pointed at promoters. Basically, promoters are burning bridges. So I mean, if you look at it higher in the top, like just take the NPC for example. You look at higher top. You can't tell me there's no sponsors, there's no supplement sponsors that's sponsoring the shows. You understand what I'm saying? So like I get what Mickey's saying. Like at the end of the day, it does come down to the people who's hosting the shows, because they are the people who have to create relationships with people who are giving out sponsors, who wants to sponsor the shows. I get that 100%. That's what I'm saying is like it's when we want to grow the sport, we need to look at the overall. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you're saying, from a business perspective, you have to look at what the market is. Where is the athletes competing? Why are athletes competing here? For what reason are they competing in certain places?
Hence, I said earlier, not everybody's mindset's the same as myself and yours now, for instance, because we've got our end goal and we are willing to do whatever we have to do, regardless of sponsors or prizes and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But to grow the sport as such, because not everybody's got this specific mindset, they want something in return. Whereas Mickey and them come in to help grow the sport, but also help grow the athletes. Whereas, like you said, they went to study and so forth, which is both great. I mean, all the way, the sport is growing. It's individual, dependent. What's your goal? What's this athlete's goal?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what needs to be done is like do a survey then. Like, and we can't point fingers at this federation is the better one because we're doing this, we're doing that. It's like I say, everybody's federation's rules are different from higher ends, from the top of the international board. Everyone's rules are different. Everyone has different rules and regulations. So as I'm saying, like at the end of the day, to fix the problem is to do a survey and say, okay, we want to grow the sport in the country, but the solution of making the sport better is not creating more federations. You understand?
Look, that's for sure. That's like there's way too many. That's the first thing.
Look at the point we just got to now at the end of this conversation. That's why I stopped it there. Like when you brought up the Shea Base Classic. I mean, now look, that is the fifth federation in the country.
Yeah.
So I mean, look at all the promoters. Like I'm just, this is an example. I'm not saying this is what must happen and should happen, and I'm not saying like, I'm just making an example. If look at all the promoters of different federations in the country. Just an example, if all these different promoters had NPC license and hosting and doing all these fantastic things for the shows, because I mean it's one federation at the end of the day. So we're not breaking up. There's no breaking up of athletes. I compete with IBFF. I compete with NPC. I compete with PCA. It's one federation. We're going in one direction in the country. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then it's unity.
Look,
If guys come together and say, listen, let's do this together thing. The problem comes in this person has a problem with the other person, and this person has a problem with another person. But what I'm saying is, whether you have a problem with the next person or not, that person doesn't have the control. That is my point. That person doesn't have the control over that federation, over the license. You know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? Like you're saying, like at the end of the day, that's how people work. If I don't like you, I'm not going to do business with you. You understand? So whether, like I'm saying, like even if I don't like you, and you are the owner of, or you doing this, but you don't have the final say of whether I can jump in on that or not. I can go higher up above you and say, listen, I can buy a license and I can host the show as well. It's the same. That's my whole point of saying. What I'm saying is, like, instead of opening up a whole bunch of federations, why not invest in the license, and then you're still hosting the same federation show? Doesn't mean you have to be involved with that person. You be involved with the top authority. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
So, like I'm saying, like, look at it overseas. Let's take this example. Like, what's a perfect example? I'm trying to think of promoters in other countries that's in the same region that they have different shows. That's what I'm saying. Is like, that is the point I'm trying.
Well, what's gone?
The thing is, it is what it is, and we as athletes should choose which route you should want to go. For instance, like PCA, you can go international with it. There's PCA shows overseas, same with IBFF, with NPC, everybody. So it's every athlete's own decision which route they want to go. If they want to join Federation A because of prize money, they do it. Overseas, you also have your different federations. It is what it is. So everybody needs to choose their route and go for it. I was getting at, for us in South Africa, to grow the sport as a whole.
Yeah.
Money and prizes attracts people. It is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You know what it comes down to. And I understand Ahmad's argument with regards to, how it works, and the fact that it's not about them and you have to go higher up, and that. The thing is, just to me, it just shouldn't have happened in the first place this way. Like in the beginning of it, just to me, the whole business model behind bodybuilding it's weird. There shouldn't be all this different shit. It should be one straight line, but there's a plus side to it, like you said, Stephan. There's a plus side. There's a pros and there's cons, because some athletes want it for the Olympia. Some maybe just want it for some money. Some just want it for a little bit of fun. That's where the different federations come in. So you are right.
Arnold's overseas is just as big.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. You was kicking me off. What kind?
Ahmad, are you there?
Yeah. What happened? I don't know. It was like, what? You kicked me off. What happened?
No, bro, I had enough of your bullshit, so I just quickly kicked you off. No, I don't know what happened there. It just went.
Okay, but that was just like, I'm just saying that was like, I mean, it was a conclusion, but also like another point I was going to get to, like, I mean, all respect to the other federations. I mean, not everybody wants to go to the Olympia. There's people that likes to do this thing for fun, as an hobby. And I mean, all hats off. I mean, you guys are doing a fantastic job by giving back in terms of people who does it for a hobby. There's a way of earning their money back that they're spending on the prep and things like that. But yeah, just on the point of why I brought that topic up and saying, listen, there's no point in pointing fingers at promoters when those promoters don't have the final say of whether you can have a license or not.
Yeah. I mean, I was just saying, just when you're off camera, I was just saying to Stephan as well, like, there's pros and cons. You can't really fix it because us in South Africa, we don't fucking, we don't actually have a federation. It's not like, well, obviously we do, but you know what I mean? Like the NPC and RBFF didn't start in South Africa. You know what I mean? So there's no, it's a huge conglomerate, it's a huge company. So it's hard. But look, all we got to do at the end of the day is be the best companies, bodybuilding companies, best promoters we can be, best athletes we can be, and it'll grow by itself. It's just about, people not being selfish, people not being greedy. If it's that good old saying, you give and you get, if you take all the time, it's going to bite you in the arse. But anyways, Stephan, thanks for coming on, bro. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We'll jump on again sometime.
Yeah, sure. Let me know. I'm ready.
And good luck. Good luck for the for the next show. I'll be following. I'm keen to see you post a little bit more like of your in-depth stuff with your prep and whatever. It'd be good to see what you and Tristan are doing together. So yeah, flipping excited. Keep us updated.
Yeah, we'll definitely do so.
Okay. Awesome, bro. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, you guys. Stay safe.
Cheers, Ahmad.
Cheers, boys. Is that it? What happened there?
Huh?
What happened there? The time just flew by.
Now you come back.
What is going on?
What's up? Go on, Ahmad. It's okay. Go.
Cool. Huh?
I said, go on.
I've been listening. I didn't know we ended this podcasting, this recording. I didn't know that's what was happening.
Didn't we say we're going to extend it?
It's a long one.
Yeah.
I think we covered quite a bit. I can cut this in any case. It's an hour and 7 minutes, quite long. But we'll jump on again. Maybe during the week or whatever. But yeah, thanks, boys. I appreciate it. Enjoy your Sunday. And go do yourself a favor and go watch that fight. It was really sick.
Will do.
Okay.
Ahmad looks like he wants to say more.
I'm still sitting here and I'm still I'm sitting here, I'm still receiving check-ins, bro. So I'm like, that's what I'm like. I'm looking at my phone.
Okay.
But you were eating the first half an hour, and I have to go have my cheat meal now. So.
Hey, leave your cheat meal, man.
Food will come again. Stage is around the corner for you, man. Just push through. You've got it.
No. I'm not really worried about cheat meals, bro. I don't know when the last time I had a cheat meal. Doesn't faze me.
By the way, my previous show, I had burger and chips 2 weeks out.
Yeah, I saw. I was watching your stories.
So yeah, it was good.
That's when you know you're in shape. That's where you should be. You should be able to have cheat meals in, if you're not trying to pull too much weight too late into the prep, you're 2 weeks out and you still got to, so that's great.
Yeah. No, it is. But we see it as a refeed, not as a cheat, actually.
Yeah.
This is additional calories just to push.
I see it the same way, but I haven't got one. I'm like, what's going on here? I want to cry to Jason. I'm like, bro, what's going on here? My last prep, I had at least a refeed every week. This year, nothing. I don't know if it's what's going on. I'm like, there was a point, and I'm like, I'm gonna give myself a refeed here. This brother's not giving me anything. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna follow. Just keep going. And we spoke every week and so on. It's not like my weight hasn't been coming down, bro. It's just been chipping away. But halfway through this week, I'm like, I think I need to give myself a refeed here, bro, because the amount of changes that my body went through from Monday to Wednesday was ridiculous, and I dropped 2 kilos this week.
Sure.
I went from 86 to 84, 86 and a half to 84 and a half this week. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Fucking hell.
What's your weight now, Ahmed?
This morning I weighed 84.5, 84 and a half.
My refeed yesterday, I gained 4.4 kilos. So I weighed myself in the morning. The evening was 4.4 kilos heavier. I dropped 3.2 overnight.
Yeah, it's just all the water that kind of.
That's why I have to repeat today again.
That's crazy.
Possibly, you're gonna probably drop some more weight with that refeed.
We have to see. My next check-in is Wednesday. I'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah, please.
That was the thing. That's like my last prep. Like, I would have a refeed, and the next day I'm lighter. It's like, okay.
Okay, body was sucks it up.
Yeah,
I'm the same.
Things are a bit different this time around. I'm heavier. So I'm just trusting the process, following the plan. There's no point in me changing my own shit, and then the bride doesn't know what's going on if I change my own shit. So
yeah. Just before we leave, actually, you know what I was just thinking? Sorry, I'm dragging it on, but it actually might not be a bad thing, Ahmad, that you got clients or whatever, that you got to concentrate on them during that day. You know, you don't have to. Then you're not psyching yourself out the whole time, because you know when you're lying backstage and you fucking just start thinking and your mind's going mad. Now you don't have to really think about yourself too much. You got your coach, and you can just worry about your athletes. Maybe it works out better. You know.
It's two ways though, because
you
want your mind
you go 2 ways
on stage as well, because you want to think about your routine, how you're going to look at stage or on stage, how you want to present yourself, all that kind of stuff. Also running through your mind. It's necessary because you have to go through that process. But yeah, doing it the whole day could mess with you. So keeping yourself busy helps. Like the show that was so late, I only went to the venue at 4 p.m. So the day I could sleep, chill out, you know. So it's a two-way street for you.
Yeah, look, you can go both ways for sure. I'm looking at the positives, yeah.
What time did you step on stage that night? About 12?
The first time around, so my first lineup was, I think about, I think it was about 10. Quarter to 10 was my first lineup. Then you go on off, then you wait until afterwards for prize giving. But because we lost, so the prize giving, you go on, get your prize off, wait backstage, and back on for the overalls.
Okay, cool. It is quite late, eh? But
quite late.
Yeah, I got home at 12:30, quarter to 1.
It's a long day out. It's a fucking long day out. But
Mickey, Mickey, like that's the thing I'm now thinking, am I gonna make it in time for your show? Because I mean, looking at the way things ran last week now with their show, I think bodybuilding awards only ended at like 4. Am I right?
For the first session.
Yeah.
No, they were late. So they should have, I think they finished at 5 p.m.
Do you see there?
Or 6, no, 6. Because session 2 only started at 7 p.m. We should have started at 3 p.m.
You see, that's the thing is what I'm worried about.
But remember, this was a very big show. I don't know if the next one's going to be the same problems.
Apparently, Cape Town, there's a lot of people coming down for the Cape Town show.
But from Upper Africa as well.
I'm not sure. Like I'm saying.
Remember, this one was open for Upper Africa as well, because the one in Africa was cancelled. So I think this one, the Muscle Militia one, is just a regional. So some people can come from Joburg and so forth, but not Upper Africa. That just threw everything out of proportion because they entered extremely late, and that pushed the timelines on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a quick one. I've heard, like, apparently there's not going to be any more Andrew Jack in South Africa anymore. What's the reason on that? Do you guys know about anything?
No, I haven't done anything about that. This was the first one, so
it's probably his decision because he couldn't get into the country. That's probably why.
Yeah, he's probably not too happy because he couldn't get into the country.
It's probably his decision why he's not going to host. He's not because I mean, I think he pumps money into the show, right? Promoters just promote the show for him. So I mean, if it was my show, I'm gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna get into your country. Why must I have a show in your country? Would say.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe there will be a next one. We will have to wait and see. I think it was stressful on him because he couldn't be here, and so many people paid the following day, the Sunday, to have lunch with him and meet and greet and stuff. And obviously he wasn't here, so I don't know what happened with that money or what's going on there. But I think if he leaves that part out of the equation and just do the show as is, it'd be good to go.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, seeing it from his point of view, like, yes, I'm having issues here to get into your country and I must spend money to host a show there. I would say also, Gaan is so. I'm not going to put money into the show and I can't get there.
I hear you. I do. Guys, I have to run. I need to push calories.
Go. Let that man go eat, man. It's fine. We can continue talking so long.
Come away. You guys must enjoy and be safe there, okay?
Safety.
Thanks,
Sorry, bro.
me.
Go chop. Go chop.
All the best.
Cool. Keep you guys updated on Wednesday.
See what you say?
Just my next check-ins.
Okay, power.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Good. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers. Bye.
So this thing of